Hello, Augies Worldwide. I'm Dave Kassler, amateur radio call sign KE0OG, here with episode number 297 of Ask Dave. And today we're going to do the unboxing of the new Xiegu G90 QRP transceiver. I say QRP, I'll put that in quotes a little bit. It actually goes up to about 20 watts. MFJ has loaned me this unit for test, and we'll see how we like it. It's an interesting unit. It comes apart with the front part of it comes apart. The speaker is in the case, however, so you have to use headphones or something if you're going to use this part separately, and you can move these two parts apart depending on what kind of RFI issues you may have. Now, this radio is quite interesting. 20 watts output, and we're going to test that and see how many outputs we really have. I think I'll test it both on the watt meter I have and also on the oscilloscope itself and see how well that does. The reason that's interesting is because around the world, many entry-level licenses will allow operation on HF, but only at 20 watts. So this is truly a world radio, and it's designed for those amateurs. Now, 20 watts is 1/5 or 6 or 7 dB down, 7 dB, 8 dB down from a full strength 100 watt signal. So that's about 1 S unit less. Now, that makes it a marginal performer on the normal HF bands. A QRP single sideband would be truly a minuscule performer. So we're going to try this. I'm going to try calling CQ a few times and seeing how we can do. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to open the box, take a look at all the contents of the box, and then we're going to page through the parts of the manual that tell you what the various connectors are and so on. And then at the end, I'll show you how we separate the front panel from the box. It doesn't just clip on. You have to take some screws out in order for that to happen. But they do include an extension cable for use between the two. So let's dive into the unboxing, and I'll see you at the end. All right, this is the box that came this morning from MFJ, and we're going to open it up. And it is sealed with tape along the bottom here. And let's see what we've got in here. Okay. We've got MFJ's paper cardboard packing that's in here. So we'll move that out of the way and pull this box out. Then we can set this big box aside. And here we have the Xiegu. I know that's pronounced differently, but it's an HF SDR transceiver, the model G90, made in China and sold by MFJ. And let's see what we have in here. We've got a little manual that's stapled together, and I guess some very important instructions in Chinese. This is the warranty. Then it talks about the warranty in both English and Chinese. It's got the product serial number on there, the model number. This is, I guess, the date they shipped it. And I'll put in the date of purchase. The distributor is MFJ, of course, in the United States. Now let's take a look at what we've got here. This is the main radio. Okay. And this has... It's heavy, quite heavy. Okay, so we have a thumb screw for ground, and SO239 on the thing. Key, what is that, COM? Okay, I/O accessories, and it has the DC in over here and a little miniature Molex. And let's see what it says there. The device complies with Part 15 of FCC. Okay, so it's a claimed FCC certification. And then here is well, it's quite sleek. This is heat, and then here is the radio itself, It's got a knob marked volume. This knob isn't marked. It's got a little, I think, on-off switch there. Little itty bitty tiny controls. Look at these things. Little itty bitty tiny controls with your, you almost need a stylus just to push the buttons, even though those are real buttons. Let's see what else is in here. We have this is an RS-232. It's an extension cable, so it'll plug into itself. We'll find out what that's for. Then we have the power. The power leads are not terribly thick, and there is one fused lead. Let's just see where that fused lead is, if it's near the origin of the power or right next to the radio. If it's right next to the radio, that would be nice, because we could, oh golly, my fingers don't like to open these little bags. So what's this? Now, this is some little certificate that's got lots of stamps on it. Okay. Also in here is a little, oh, this is for tightening the screws for the RS-232. Note that I don't see a RS-232 on here anywhere. Okay, here we have the USB and the connector that goes into the radio. So this would be for the comm. Okay. And then we have the mic cord and the mic. Mic has lots of buttons on it. We've got an up-down button, a speech/lock, a tuner/call, XFC, V/M, MW for memory write, and an F1 and an F2. And then you can push these buttons. They have band markings on them. See, here is 10 meters, there's 3.5, 7, or 10, that's, yeah, 10 meter band, 14 meter band, and so on. And mode, filters, general coverage if you want it, and frequency input and enter. And then there's a push to talk on the side. It's got a hanger, the kind of hanger that would go on a clip of some sort, rather than, this is the other type of microphone hanger that you see. So this one is like that. So you plug this in here, and this goes into the radio. Now let's take just a quick flip through of the manual. It says G90 operations manual, built-in automatic tuner unit. Okay. I like this tail interface. I guess if you have a tail, you can hook it up there. This front panel and tail, this back is obviously the tail. Mic button, external power connection method, memory operation. Oh, I was going to look on the power cord. This is the power cord, and I just wanted to know where that fuse is in the line. Some radios, like the Ten-Tec Jupiter, have the fuse in the back of the radio. Okay, well, that's not a very long power cord. And they've got the wires already here cut so that you can just pull these off and you've got the bare wire. And the fuse is up here. I might make the power cord, well, it's so short already, I don't know that I'll shorten it. Okay, let's look at all the different things in here just to see what we've got. Okay, G90 is portable 20 watt we'll measure that. HF amateur radio transceiver with an SDR architecture, built-in auto antenna tuner. The display unit and the radio can be separated. Well, now that would explain the RS-232 cable. Now this particular cable is about 3 feet long. And this is a extension cable. And I think I have some longer extension cables for RS-232. You don't see RS-232 much anymore, except for different kinds of equipment under computer control. You can still get RS-232s for your computer. Let's see. First model in the G series, whatever that means. 24-bit data size. Excellent transmit performance and highly configurable function experience. Let's look at some of the features here. I'm going to zoom down in on them so that you can see them. High performance front-end narrowband ESC escape preselector. Covers the frequency band half to 30 megahertz. Sideband CW AM and FM. FM says can only be turned on when the GSUC controller is used together. That's a separate part. 1.8 inch high brightness color TFT LCD display. Plus or minus 24K bandwidth spectrum display for waterfall. Software defined narrowband filter for CW. 50 hertz. That's pretty small. Detachable display unit up to 20 watts of power. Built-in wide-range automatic antenna tuner. We'll test that. Diversified interfaces, in particular the baseband IQ output, allows it to interface with any external device that can handle baseband IQ, and including sound card-based or PC-based applications such as XDT1. Don't know what that is. Okay, in order to better, please read the manual before operating. They all say that. And this is the front panel. Okay. And look, they put the meaning of these things on the next page. They should have been opposite over here. Okay, one is the volume, tuning knob, short press, switch to headphone output mode. That will reduce the audio power out so it doesn't blast out your headset. Power receiver transmitting status pilot lamp is right there. Power switch. In the off state, just press it. In the on state, hold and press to shut down. Multifunction adjustment knob, which is for this one down here, your multifunction knob. Okay. And mode switching is done by 5. It's up on the top. This thing has it has the front panel, but notice that there are some buttons up on top, including mode and band. You can go up and down with the mode and band up on top. Though with the microphone connected, you can just go there directly. Well, that thing's heavy. Okay, let's see. Mode switching, band switching, function indicator light. Will light when the second function of the button is operated. There's a delta frequency, which I guess would be like RIT. And then the main knob to change the current frequency. And then there are some function buttons. Function button definitions are detailed in the operating section. And that's these: tune, power out, key, and lock. Okay? Now, to pull the thing out, mic interface on the right side, which is right here, and it's got the connector that's so common for the smaller radios. Okay, and then over here on the side, you've got headphones and 22 self-defining communications interface. It's a firmware update for the machine head or other features. Okay, and it does not quite yet describe how to take this thing to detach the front head. We'll figure that out. Okay, and we have the antenna interface, of course, 50 ohm. Key interface, 3.5 millimeter stereo jack. That's 14, this one right here, key. And it shows you in a really tiny diagram, you'll need a magnifying glass to read. If it's a manual key, you need to connect the DIT and the DA together. Okay. COM interface using for the case firmware update. So apparently you update the main body and the control head separately. IQ signal output is here where it says IQ. I misread that as IO. The accessory interface is defined here. DC power interface in 19 is the ground terminal, of course. So here's how we would configure. It shows the mic and it shows the accessory interface. They did not provide a plug for this, but it's a common connector. Okay, and then this is a bigger diagram for connecting the key, except it's all in Chinese. The COM connector is here. The headphone interface is here. And again in Chinese. So on the microphone, it shows lock, push to talk, up and down in frequency. Receive transmit indicator is number 4, which is right there. Let's just put this over here so we've got it. Okay, and I'm going to come out just a little bit. Okay, so right here that'll glow red on transmit and green when you're receiving. Numeric keypad. Filter selection is over here. Mode up here. Function indicator, it says no, there's no function indicator. Function buttons, you've got an F1 and an F2 that you can use. MW is memory right, but it says storage operation. VM, switching between, it says frequency and channel, so that's VFO and memory. XFC, it says no. Tuner, hold. Tuner is 13. Way up here in this one, it says hold, press to turn on the built-in automatic antenna tuner for turning. We're going to try that out on some odd loads. Okay, the G90 can use a 16.8 external power supply, current capacity of at least 10 amps. It's awful thin wire for 10 amps. Okay, the supplied power cord can be used when connecting. Don't reverse polarity. Red is positive, obviously. Another diagram here in it tells you what that and that. You just have to look at the pattern on that. Black wire, red wire. It shows an adjustable voltage, but it says 13.8. Okay. When the G90 uses an external power supply in order to prevent external interference, you can put ferrite cores on it, which they do not supply. Carefully check the polarity. Okay, just don't plug it in wrong. Okay, now we are getting into the operation of the manual, which we will cover when we actually do the testing on it. So let's see if there's any function button, split frequency, button function table, CW. SWR wave scanner is not yet, well, it says it has it, but it says not yet opened, which would imply that it's not in there yet. Okay, digital filters, line input and output, which you will want if you're going to connect. No, you'll go in through the radio. It said it had a sound card in it. We'll see if we can make that work on digital. Okay, so there's lots of things here. Connecting to a computer, let's see. Yeah, okay. Computer control instruction, band, voltage values, if you're got something that's automatically selecting the band. Okay. This is the expansion adapter. You need this to do FM, I guess. All right, and it's made by Chongqing Xiegu Technology Company, and I have horribly mispronounced that. I would like to know how that is properly pronounced. Okay, so we're going to do a bunch of testing of this radio for all the different features. This, of course, is the unboxing video. So stay tuned, and we will learn how to pull off the separate front panel and see how we use that and how it is connected. If you were taking this in a backpack, this is pretty heavy. I'll weigh it. Let's weigh it right now. Okay, here we go. 3 pounds, 9.5 ounces. Okay, I guess that's not too bad for a backpack. It just feels really chunky. 3 pounds, 9.5 ounces. Okay. Now, as of that point, I had not figured out how to get the front part of it off. So let's go look at another just short clip here so that you can see just how we get that thing off. Okay, I figured it out. You take these off of each side with this little Allen wrench that comes with it. And then you pull on this. And the only connection between the case unit and the head unit is this RS-232 that's right there. Now, that's not a real RS-232 type of connection. It's their connection, but you can use an RS-232 cable on it. Now, something I want you to note, the speaker is in the case. So if you separate this to put it somewhere, you'll have to use your headphones in order to use the headphone jack right there. You need to tell it to go to the headphones, but it does come apart. So when you put it back together, make sure you align that properly, like that. It won't go in wrong. And then get the corners aligned and put it back on like that. And then when you put these back on, and it's intended that the screw length includes the little side thingy, okay, to put the thing back on. Well, there we go. This looks like a very interesting radio. I am reviewing this by popular demand. A lot of you Augies out there have said during the Thursday and Saturday live streams that you would like me to review the Xiegu G90 radio. So I contacted MFJ. They loaned me one for review. We'll take a look at it. Who knows, if I like it, I may buy it. And we'll have this, the next video we'll talk about hooking it up, using it on the air. We'll also be taking a look at the performance of the antenna tuner. It's supposed to be a wide range antenna tuner, so I can go out and we can see what we can do with that wide range. A wide range antenna usually means we'll tune up to 10-to-1 SWR. We'll see what that means in this case. Now, by comparison, the 100-watt radios out there like the ICOM 7300, which is the reference station radio, tune with the internal tuners only up to 3-to-1. So we'll put this in the proper perspective. I also want to hook this up for digital because 20 watts is fine power for digital. We're still going to back it off a little bit because if you're running FT8, it's not too bad on off, but we'll see how well it does. So in the meantime, please take a look at dcasler.com/support for different ways that you can help fund this channel so that I can do things like buy radios and build connections with manufacturers and so on, and bring you the kind of information that you would like to have. So until next time, 73.